Hey, Shalom. First off, I want to start off by saying all praises to Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Rakakadash. That's all praises who the world calls God and Jesus Christ. The true names in the Hebrew is Yahweh for the Heavenly Father, and Yahushai for his beloved Son. Also want to say double honors to the elders and apostles, a great millstone and peace and mercy to the hopeful elect. This is the brother Tazabah Laura Will with another video to edify. And the financial part of this kingdom going down is starting to play out, and there's three articles I want to go into, and this came in a succession of this week. This came in succession, one after another, and it's gonna play on a lot of prophecy. And these are things we have to look into because what? Let's see if I can get this. Um, 2 Corinthians 2:11, it says, "Least Satan should get an advantage over of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices." And one of his devices is monetary system, and that's a big one. Being able to function monetarily is a big part of this devil system. And so I'm going to go through these articles, and Lord will, this is edifying and explain exactly why this stuff is playing into prophecy. So this is what is the future of digital currencies and fintech regulation boom bust explores as cryptocurrency continues to expand on the global payment space. Governments across the world are seeking to assess and mitigate the perceived risk in using them. And really what it is because they're seeing because this is a society is going towards a cashless system. It's going into a complete different system, and with it changing, you're gonna go from the greenbacks, hard paper cash money, into digital currencies, and that's why all these countries are looking at how they can take cryptocurrency and blockchain and make this a payment system. It says RT's Boom Bust talks to Matthew Rose Rozak, co-founder and chairman of Block. Now it says cryptocurrencies are still generally a very speculative ball game right now, and that's okay. He says, adding that over the near term, we'll see more of these blockchains show throughout throughput and value coming through. Talking about the future of digital currencies, Rozak said that it could take some time for people to get used to them. You see, digital currencies, it can take some time for people to get used to them. Like in the early stages of the internet, it's challenging a lot of different models, such as money, identity, privacy, security, or data. That takes time, he said. And all this is going into this new system that they want to do, man. Because that blockchain, the cryptocurrency, it's all going into the market of beasts. It's Revelation 13 and 16. And he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of the name. And that mark is talking about a physical thing going into the RFID microchip, which they've already linked to payment systems. Over there in Germany, they're reaching towards a cashless society. Over there in China, what people just use their phones to be able to pay for things. They say over there in China that only the stupid and the elderly use cash. You know, and this is all going to turn into the market of beast because this is going to be part of that new global system now. I'm going to get this and one more article, and then I'll get a few more scriptures. It says Russia and Iran to switch to SWIFT-free banking system. And what the SWIFT banking system is basically how countries convert cash, because in the global stock market, in the global chain, to be able to trade, you have to use the US dollar. And every time they go to the SWIFT system, let's say you get $100 in US dollars, but when you convert it into your own currency, what you end up converting is really $98 into your own currency. So every single transaction that these countries do in these large amounts, the US is still getting paid off of. And that's why all these countries want to switch, because they're trying to X the US out of the deal. They don't want any sanctions. They want a way to move around and not pay with US money so that they can do their business in their own currencies. It says Russia and Iran will transfer payments using an alternative system to the internationally recognized SWIFT money transfer network. The governor of Iran's central bank announced. It says instead of SWIFT, a system that facilitates cross-border payments between 11,000 financial institutions in more than 200 countries worldwide, the two countries will use their own domestic developed financial messaging systems, Iran's CPAM and Russia's SPFS. You see? So they're going to start trading in their own dollars. They're going to try to start trading in their own money, because to trade in the US dollar, they're losing money to the US every time. Then they get sanctioned. So not only are they losing money, now they're being robbed. Now they're getting taxed. Now it says using the system for trade, for trade and business exchanges between EAEU, Eurasian Economic Union, member states can help develop and expand trade exchanges between the member states as well. Hemati said, as cited by Mir News Agency on Tuesday, Tehran is set to officially join Russia-led free trade zone, the EAEU, next month. The document on Iran's participation was ratified in June by the nation's parliament, and President Hassan Rouhani has also ordered that the free trade zone agreement be implemented. Earlier this month, Russian President aide Yuri Yashkov said that Tehran and Moscow are developing an alternative to SWIFT. You see? And that's what's happening. It's a global market shift. Now remember, both these articles we just went into covers an entire shift in the market. An entire shift in the market. This is big. And the reason why it's big is because it's gonna shock the US dollar. It's gonna burn it up, man. It's gonna ditch the entire US dollar. Once these countries no longer have to deal with the US dollar, what happens with it? When nobody's trading and what you have, it has no value. And the US dollar is not backed by gold, is not backed by silver. It is a debt note. It is a piece of paper with the perceived notion that the US has the power to pay it back. And this is where that new global system comes from. Now it says BRICS countries will soon account for more than half of the global economy. The combined economies of the BRICS member states, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, are set to expand about 20% in roughly a decade. Russian Finance Minister Anton Silovanov has announced. Now, there's more than Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa in the BRICS nations. There's more, because they've added other member states. Other countries are joining in. Other countries see the benefit of working with the BRICS nations. Why? Because they get to have a backup for when the U.S. throws sanctions. They get to have a backup when the U.S. wants to freeze their accounts like they did to Venezuela. See, Venezuela, it was not wrecked by mismanagement. Venezuela was wrecked by the fact that the U.S. put word out saying freeze their accounts. So that gold they have over there in Europe and in the banks in England, they can't get out. So Venezuela has hella money, they just can't get it because the U.S. has ordered that money be frozen. It says the BRICS countries' economy today accounts for a third of the global economy. It says according to our conservative estimates, by 2030, conservative, so they're sitting there going for a low ball. By 2030, our economies will make up more than half of the entire world economy. Sayulanov said at the BRICS International uh, Compet- Competition Conference in Moscow on Wednesday. You see, members of the alliance continue to work on eliminating trade barriers. What are the trade barriers? Sanctions. Those are the biggest trade barriers. And that's what the U.S. puts out. Eliminating trade barriers between them and can set an example for other countries to minister at it. And this is the global market change that we're going to see. And this is going to lead into an extreme hyperinflation. Extreme hyperinflation in the U.S. and a collapse of American economy. And a lot of other economies are going to be affected as well. But the U.S. is going to be hurt far more. And those other economies, they're not going to bounce back because war is going to pop off as soon as this shit goes down. Now, this is Ecclesiastes 12 and 1. This is, remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them, while the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble. And who are the keepers of the house? The elite bankers, Those are the keepers of your house. The upper echelon, It says, and why they're going to tremble, it says, and the strong men bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out of the windows because windows be darkened, and the grinder ceasing is work. There's going to be no more work. It says those that look at the windows be darkened because the storefronts are going to close. When this economy and this dollar crashes, there's going to be no work. There's not going to be anybody sitting there shopping. You're not going to be able to use these empty debt notes called U.S. dollars. Nobody's going to be messing with them. It's going to have no value. It says, and the door shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music be brought low. And that's what's going to happen, man. A lot of people are going to wake up early in the morning to try to look for some work so they can sustain themselves. And in that time, all this mirth that's in America is going to be pushed out. It says, and also when they shall be afraid of that which is high, and the fear shall be in the way, and the almond tree flourish, and the grasshopper shall be a burden, and desire shall fail, because man go to his long home, and mourners go about the streets, because a lot of people are going to be homeless, man. That's what it's talking about. Man go to his long home, and mourners go about the streets. It's talking about an increase of homelessness. Or ever silver cord be loose, or golden bowl be broken, or the pitcher be broken at the fountain, or the well be broken at the cistern. You see, and this is what we're going to see, man. This is what we're going to see is the complete collapse of America. Complete collapse, This is Genesis 47 and there it is. Genesis 47 and 15. It says, and when the money failed in Egypt. Now, you have to understand, that real quick. Ecclesiastes 1 and 9, it says, "The thing that had been is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done. There's no new thing under the sun." So the thing that had been, now the money fell in old Egypt. We're right now in the spiritual Egypt, according to Revelation, where it says, which is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt, where our Lord was crucified. You know, this is that new Egypt. So it's going to fail just like this. It says, "And when money failed in the land of Egypt and in the land of Canaan, all the Egyptians came unto Joseph and said, Give us bread, for why should we die in thy presence? For the money faileth." And this is what's going to happen in Babylon the Great, man. They're going to go to the elites. They're going to ask them, "Hey, man, we're dying. We need bread. We need food. You know, this money isn't worth anything." It's going to happen exactly like this. I'm going to jump down to 18. It says, uh, when that year was ended, then came unto him the second. Then they came unto him the second year, and said unto him, "We will not hide it from my Lord. It says, how that our money is spent, my Lord also have our herds of cattle," because that's what's gonna happen, man. You're gonna run out of money. All your stuff is gonna get repossessed. Even if there's people that are gonna be working in repossession, you know. It says, there is not aught left in the sight of my Lord, but our bodies and our lands. Wherefore shall we shall wherefore shall we die before thine eyes? Behold, we are we in our land, both we are in our land. Buy us and our land for bread, and we and our land will be servants unto Pharaoh. And that's what's gonna happen, man. When this dollar collapse and these people lose it all, you know, and all hope, and these foreign troops start shooting up shit, a lot of people are gonna just be like, you know what, fuck it. They're gonna sell themselves out, man, just so they can keep eating. It says, "And give us seed that we may live and die not, that the land be not desolate." It says, "And Joseph bought all the land of Egypt for Pharaoh, for the Egyptians sold every man his soul, because of the famine prevailed over them. So the land became Pharaoh's." And that's what's going to happen, man. A lot of people are going to sell out in this time. And the way they're going to sell out is by taking the mark of the beast, which is the RFID and NFC microchipping technology that is implantable. And the scriptures tell you you're not supposed to take it, man. So if you take that chip, you know, there's one judgment that's written in the scriptures, man. You know? So don't take that chip, man. We're coming in a time where economic collapse is going to happen. And if you've been doing this work, man, and you've been sincere about this truth, the Lord's going to protect you and your family. But if not, hey, man, it's going to be a bitter way for you, man. So, Lord, will this is edifying. I want to say, Kakallah, Yahweh, Shemi Ashai, Bashim, Rakakadash. Double honors to elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and mercy to the hopeful like Shalom.